We're making a healthier version of the viral Olympic Village chocolate muffin that everyone is raving about. My recipe is gluten-free with oat flour and higher in protein with cottage cheese, almond flour, and eggs. They're naturally sweetened with applesauce, maple syrup, and cane sugar, so any athlete can feel great eating them. Hello, my name is Nicole Bonilla, and if you love healthier recipes made with all natural ingredients, then you are in the right place. To make these delicious muffins extra moist and to add some protein, we're going to start with some cottage cheese. Now you could use large curd or small curd, low fat, non-fat, whatever your preference. And you're welcome to jot down these ingredients as we go along, or you can click on the link that's in the video description below, and that will take you to the full recipe on my website. Now before we add the cottage cheese to our muffin batter, we want to blend it smooth first, because then we'll no longer have that curdled cottage cheese texture. So you could use an upright blender or a food processor, or I'm going to use the chopper cup that comes with my immersion blender. Now you could also use Greek yogurt or sour cream in place of the cottage cheese, and then you would not have to blend it up first. So I'm going to start with 1/3 cup of cottage cheese. And then to help it blend down just a little bit easier, I'll go ahead and add our next ingredient, which is 1/3 cup of unsweetened applesauce. And I'll simply put on the lid and blend it till smooth. So now we no longer have that curdled cottage cheese texture. And then I'll go ahead and just add this to my mixing bowl. Next, we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of some cane sugar, but you could use any granulated sugar that you like. Then we'll add 1/4 cup of some light olive oil. You could also use avocado oil. Next, we'll add 1 tablespoon of some apple cider vinegar, and this will add flavor and help them bake lighter. And 2 teaspoons of some vanilla extract, and 3 eggs. Now we'll go ahead and just mix this together until well combined. Now we can add our dry ingredients, which includes 1½ cups of oat flour. Now you could buy the store-bought flour, or you could just take some quick oats or old-fashioned oats, put them into your food processor or your blender, and just blend it until you have a very fine flour. And to add some additional protein, delicious flavor, and some healthy fats, we're adding 1 cup of almond flour. And if you'd like to see some additional combinations of flours that you can use, go ahead and click on the recipe in the video description. Next, we're going to add 1/3 cup of some cocoa powder, and I like Dutch processed. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Let's dump those right on top. And then we'll just whisk these together until they're well combined. And then we have this thick, gorgeous, and very chocolatey smelling muffin batter. Next, we want to add 1/2 cup of our chocolate chunks, and you could use any type of chocolate chips that meet your dietary preference. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1/2 cup, but I am going to hold back about 2 tablespoons of it because I want to add these chips to the top of the muffins. And then I'll just fold these in with my spatula. Now to bake the muffins, you can use any liners that you like. I'm using a variety of these paper liners that I think are really fun. But you will want to lightly spray them first just to make sure the muffins don't stick. So I'm just spraying them lightly with a little bit of some coconut oil. And then I'll just use my 1/3 cup batter scoop to go ahead and drop the batter right into each of the cups. And you'll want to fill them just over the top of the muffin liner. Now the almond muffin cups are filled. I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle a few extra chocolate chunks on top of the muffins. Now because we're going to be poking a hole in the center top of the muffin for that chocolate sauce, I'm not going to put a chocolate chip right in the center. So I'll just push in a few around the sides. Well, these look gorgeous and they are ready to go into the oven. Now to get that really gorgeous high dome on the muffins, we want to give them a heat boost first. So we're going to put them into a 425-degree oven and set the timer for 5 minutes. Then after that 5 minutes, we're going to leave the muffins in the oven. We're going to turn down the temperature to 350, and then we're going to let these bake for about an additional 14 to 16 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. Well, here are our muffins out of the oven and they look gorgeous. I love that they have this high dome on top, which makes them look like they came right out of a bakery. Now, of course, you can enjoy your muffins as is, or we can add our chocolate sauce that we're going to pipe into the center of each muffin. Now, we could make this with melted chocolate chips and some cream, but I'm going to show you how to make a really easy sauce with just some cottage cheese. So we're going to add 1/4 cup of our cottage cheese to a blender because we want to smooth out that curdled texture. And then we'll add 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup. But you could also use honey for a little bit deeper flavor. And 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and a pinch of salt for flavor. And then we'll put on the lid and blend it until smooth. Well, that looks perfect. And now is an excellent time for a little pinky test. That is so good. Now to get the sauce into the middle of the muffin, I'm going to go ahead and use a slender spoon handle. So we'll just poke it down in, kind of both directions. And then I can kind of swirl it around, and then I can just pour in the sauce until it fills up the hole. That looks so good. Now you can enjoy these while the muffins and the sauce are warm, which gives you a little bit more of that lava cake effect. Or you can put these into the fridge and allow it to cool, and then that sauce is going to thicken up a little bit more. So I'm ready to enjoy one right away. Go ahead and open that up. Oh, and that delicious sauce just spreads all over that muffin crumb. And I have chocolate all over my fingers, and I do not care. That tastes divine. That is seriously so good. I can see why these muffins were such a hit with all the athletes. I love the depth of flavor that you get with these from the oat flour and the almond flour, and they have just the right amount of sweetness without it being overpowering. And I love that it's made with clean, natural ingredients, which means I'm gonna feel just as good even after I eat it. And I want you to know that I believe in you and your ability to be able to eat those healthy, delicious foods that will leave you feeling fantastic from the inside out. And I'm here to support you in any way that I can. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I've included a link to the full recipe in the video description below, which takes you to my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love this recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen.